Hello, everyone, and welcome today. As you may or may not know, I'm doing a series of interviews with healers from all across the board. Today, I'm really excited to be here with Dominique Marvelous Pontecorvo. Dominique is a creative designer from Southampton, New York. She's an abstract expressionist, a headpiece and jewelry designer. Her creations are bespoke and nothing short of magic. She's a painter, an Akashic Records practitioner, Reiki and energy healer, mother, and a multi-dimensional human. Welcome, Dominique. It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm excited to see where our conversation goes today. I guess I labeled a lot of things there of titles and putting you into a box of what you are, and you are a multidimensional self. And what I've seen about you is that all of your creations really come from the arts, whether they're the creative arts or the healing arts. So, why don't we start there and you can share a little bit about what got you on that path to begin with?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And it's really nice to talk with you and just to express and to share, I appreciate your time and your energy. Well, how did it start? I've always been really creative. I dibbled and dabbled in everything. To be honest, I didn't really take it seriously until the past few years. I started realizing that even in my creations that I was channeling. And really, I just love doing it. It's fun and it's expressive, and it's a gift that was passed down to me from my ancestors. It's my whole lineage has a creativity. So I'm just really happy to have that opportunity to express and to share with the world, and to also to spread love, because that's what happens when I'm creating, is that I'm, infusing my creations with light codes, with light energy. So it's just a way of sharing love and bringing light to the world. But that's really how I started. Initially, I was an abstract expressionist, and then I became a dancer. I danced for a good 4 to 5 years, and then I started creating jewelry, and I started creating headpieces. And right now, for the time being, my favorite is the jewelry and the headpieces, because I really get to let go and just feel inspired. And each piece is inspired for a specific individual, whether it be myself, or whether it be I'm thinking of someone and I'm thinking what they would wear and what would make them feel magical. So that's really where it starts. It's just about having fun and feeling inspired.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. So before we move on, there were two things that I heard in there that I want to know more about, and I'm sure the audience do as well. So for those that are not so familiar, what does it mean for you to channel?
So there's, usually I have to get out of the way. I have to really be centered and connected. And the information just passes down through me, through my higher self, my higher being. Uh, it's just a knowing or feeling. It's not something that I'm conscious of or trying or putting effort into. It just happens naturally. And usually when I'm done with a creation, I'm aware of that it's not something that I'm intentionally doing. It's something that moves through my body and that gets infused in the project that I'm intentionally working on.
That's beautiful. That's a really beautiful description. Thank you for that and sharing that knowledge with the wider audience. And then you mentioned how this artistic creativity and this channel is really from your lineage and heritage. And I want you to share a little bit about that because I know some, but nobody else does. So please share.
Amazing. I mean, I always knew that it wasn't just about me, creating. And once I started exploring more of where this creation comes from, we did a session together, Akashic reading, me and Manesha, and we discovered that it was, from Africa. It came from Africa. My ancestors were African descent, and they were very creative. They had a lot of beautiful gifts, and you know, part of my purpose and my incarnation in this life was to express it, because there were moments when people couldn't do that. It wasn't allowed, and it was squashed, and it was restricted. And so it's like a gift for me to express and to have gratitude for my ancestors, what they went through, how they suffered, and how I can express this beautiful gift, and I can share that with the world, and it can be, shown, this beauty. So that's more of what I've discovered in the past year, is that it's, I'm here to do it. This is part of my purpose, and in doing that, it's showing. I'm showing my ancestors, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for paving the way, and I want to make you proud, and I want to do good, and I want to share this with the world. This gift and this beauty and this feeling of love and inspiration and of joy, really living through your heart and really expressing without any limitation. So that's really how I'm really connected to it now, and just having that gratitude.
Thank you, Dominique. So another fun fact about Dominique is that she has Punjabi heritage like me. So that was how we like initially super connected in one of our sacred ceremonies. It was like, oh my gosh, she's Punjabi as well. And I was like, hi. So moving on, so like how we did meet. So we met through one of our ceremonies through School of Mysteries. So we both attend the School of Mysteries under the teachings of Leela Lota. She's our teacher. And so, Dominique, do you want to share a little bit about School of Mysteries? I don't talk about it that much, but I like to just bring that in because that's our connection and how we met.
Absolutely. I think it's really powerful. I was already on a quest in trying to understand myself, trying to understand who I am as a soul and what my purpose is, and understanding why I experienced certain things in my life. And I was slowly guided to the School of Mysteries in my studies. And once I connected to that, it was like everything is accelerated. My growing and my learning and my discovering and even my healing for myself just really took off. And I started to really understand more of who I am, what it means to love yourself and to know yourself, and how do you show up in the world? How do you serve in the world? So it was really like a catalyst for me in continuing with my healing and healing myself, understanding myself, and understanding how I can help others and how I can serve others. So it's really like a self-mastery program. That's really what it is. It's beautiful. It's really deep, and there's so much knowledge and understanding and depth. So it feels like all my life I've been trying to read books and trying to understand. And once I started working with the School of Mysteries and learned from the School of Mysteries, it's like all of that thirst was quenched. Like I was just like, this is so much information. So it's really such a blessing. And, I'm continually learning and growing and understanding. And even now I still know nothing. I feel like with all the knowledge that I understand, and even with myself and how I apply and how can I show up in the world, I'm realizing there's still so much to learn and understand, and ways that we can evolve and grow and help each other as a community. So it's just the most magical school. I'm so excited of who I'm becoming and what I'm understanding, and even the connections that I'm forming with Manesha and some of the other students in the group. It's really supportive, in growing and understanding yourself and in doing that work. So it's the most beautiful school. I love it. I'm so happy I listened and I paid attention and I didn't resist. So it was guided. Definitely guided by my team, my spiritual team.
I love that. Thank you for sharing on that as well. And I have to just echo Dominique's sentiment about the community within School of Mysteries, and what we're creating there is super magical and divine. And I'll just leave it as that. But actually, on our last trip we did together, it was our second initiation. We traveled to Egypt and Jordan, and that's actually where I was gifted one of Dominique's bespoke creative designs, and you can see some little tassels here. So it's a necklace, and yeah, I just wanted to show this, and I was gifted this by Dominique on the trip, and it was just very special because it's got all the energy energy subdued in it from all the sacred sites we went to as well. So thank you, Dominique, for my
Oh,
gift.
it's my pleasure. You know, when I created, I just thought Manesha is such a magical being. I mean, when you're working with her and you're doing healing work with her, you know, it's fun. It should be fun. It should be magical. It should feel inspired. And that's the experience that I had with her. I felt like, oh my God, this is a magical unicorn creature that's in my presence, a wizard, you know, and it was just so much fun. It really made looking at myself and looking at my shadow aspects and looking at my traumas, she brought a lightness to it and a fun and a little magical wand when she would everything she would hit, it's like you just felt in awe and you felt inspired. So that's where the inspiration came from, making that piece for her. I felt like, oh my God, she needs to feel, to embody and understand her magicalness, you know. And I want her to, when she looks at this and she wears this, that she remembers what a powerful wizard she is. So that's where the inspiration came from. And I just felt like I just couldn't wait for her to open it and to feel the energy on it and to feel excited, because that's who she is. She's so fun. And you can even feel her energy when you're working with her, that she gets super excited. And it's like you're playing. You're not working, you're working, but you're playing and you're just having fun. It's like a big party. And
Well, thank
I really
you.
I love it. It was just amazing. So that's what inspired me, and that's how I create, through inspiration. So thank you for being that inspiration, from that muse for me.
Yeah, I have to say though that your healing energy that you put into this, the intentions behind it, it's honestly drawn so much attention. Whenever I wear this piece, everybody is asking me like, who's the designer? Where did I get it from? Can they get one as well? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You just gotta put you in touch with Dominique. So it definitely, like, your magical essence shines through, and your love behind creating the piece, the bespoke piece, especially for me, it really does capture the audience and hearts of everybody else that I meet, because everybody asks about it. And yeah, so it's very special to me in my heart. And whenever I need to feel a little extra magic in my life or comfort and grounding, then I know I can put this necklace on and it makes me feel however I want to feel. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Um, you talked a little bit about, how we did the Akashic Records together. So Dominique and I became Akashic Records practitioners. I forget the timeline. Was it last year?
It was last year. Yeah.
Last year, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
It just seems like,
A
the
long
past
time ago. Like we've been doing it forever. Yeah.
So we got to really, delve deep into both of our healings then. And really, the School of Mysteries is about building up our repertoire of our integrative and alternative wellness, holistic modalities. So, Dominique, what are your services based off this and what you've learned thus far through the school? What would you like to share and be of service to the world?
Well, my favorite service is be the creativity, because that's just more natural for me to just to have fun and express and allow. But I'm also a Reiki practitioner.
Yeah.
And so I love sharing my Reiki energy with people, just really allowing them to feel comfortable, feel safe, come into balance and relaxing. And I feel in that way I get to channel as well. It's a different way that I can channel information and energy to assist the client. So I would say, after, other than being creative, it's really Reiki and the Akashic Records. That's where I feel more connected, and I feel more codes and more information and more channeling happens naturally with me just allowing that information to pass through me. I'm also a past life regressionist, but I will say that yes, the creativity, Reiki, and the Akashic Records are the ways that I love to serve the most.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. And so, out of all of those, I've got to experience Dominique's healings as well through both Akashic Records and Reiki, and I can attest to the fact that the work that she does is very gentle, yet at the same time, it's profound and it's deep. She goes super, super deep with the layers that are peeled back from the healings, and we've done everything via distance because that's what we're trained to do, so we can serve the greater world. And we've done all of our sessions via distance, and they have been absolutely amazing. I love them. You feel really nourished and nurtured inside afterwards. And I mean, I feel the tingles right when she's working on me in the different areas of the body, and it's very, very beautiful. And so sometimes in these sessions, you know, in general, right? It's like, is anything happening? What's going on? And, you know, you can see the client's mind like taking over, but you just, you know, trusting that deep down on a cellular level, there's a lot moving and energy is shifting. And that was my experience with Dominique. And again, that's why she's here today. That's why I'm sharing this information, because there are there are healers now, and whether they identify as healers or alternative and integrative therapists, there's many words, but essentially what you're doing is enabling the individual who you're working on to evoke the healing within themselves. You're just giving them a little nudge, and then they have to take the rest from there.
Yes.
And so I know Dominique's skills. I trust her, and that's why today, you know, she's here sharing this about her techniques and her creation, so that if, you know, whoever resonates with Dominique and wants to go to Dominique for healings and learn more, then please reach out to her. Please follow her on Instagram, and please reach out for information and for anything you want to ask her based off today and based off this sharing. Dominique, if you had like a tip or a piece of wisdom or advice to give the audience listening today, what would that be? Like in this moment now, today, which is the 11th of May, 2022.
Hmm. You know, that's kind of hard, but the only thing that comes to mind right now is really to follow your heart. You know, really try to remember what you're here to do. Because once you know what that is, once you know what your purpose is, and you're in alignment with your soul, you know, the feeling of gratitude that you can share with the world and how you show up in the world and what you create. Because we can forget how beautiful we are. You know, we can get stuck in this human experience, and we can get a little lost, and things can be very challenging. But I feel like the only thing that really brings peace is knowing yourself, really understanding and knowing yourself, and living your life, through your heart, the most full that it can be. The more you can tap into that, the more you're going to feel good, and you're going to feel happy. You know, it's worth it. You're worth it.
Thank you. Thank you. And how can people reach you? What's your Instagram? What's the best way to reach out?
You can DM me on Instagram. It's Ponte, Pon, T as in Tom, E as in Edward, D as in David, 77. That's my Instagram. You can also reach me via Facebook, Dominique Pontecorvo. We will post information at the bottom of the video, so that if this wasn't clear, you can find me that way. We're also going to post information about Manesha, what Manesha does, because she's really amazing. I love working with her. She's allowed me to really go deep and really see what real healing means, you know, what it really means to be vulnerable and to feel safe and to really be allowing. And it's been so special working with her and getting to know her and seeing how we're connected, and even our lineages.
Yeah.
You know? Because there's a lot of history there that we're still learning and discovering. But it's pure magic. And I think that's what life should feel like. It should feel magical.
Yeah, just going back to the first ceremony, and it was the ancestors ceremony as well that we did, and with that online team, like everyone's there in Florida with Leela, and we're just there online, and then we went around the circle sharing like, what's our lineage, what ancestors do we want to heal today, like what's going on. And as soon as I heard that Dominique was Punjabi, I was like, we're gonna be fine.
I can't believe to this day, like that's insane. Because that's part of my ancestry that I'm still working on connecting with. So it's like I was like, oh my God, like My sister.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna be friends from here, sisters. That's just that goofy side coming out, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Okay, well, I'm just super grateful that you said yes to this opportunity to do a mini interview style, sharing on your amazingness and what you're birthing into the world through Akashic Records and Reiki and your creative jewelry designs. And I love the fact that everything you do is channeled, and you can really feel that in the artistic creations of jewelry design. So just saying, look at these tassels. So please, yes, please share some more. Yeah, let's look at that one.
This is what I made for our trip to Egypt. I wanted something that felt pure, that felt clean, and that but was also very simple and very low key.
Mhm.
So this is like the first of the series that I've been making, that I've been working on, and I'll show you a couple more things actually.
Yes, please show us. We want to see everything.
So these are some of my pieces. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love it. Look at that headpiece.
Oh, this one everyone loves. I mean, they just go crazy, insane for
Wow.
this.
That's like the next Burning Man
Yeah,
in the desert.
desert. Some of my jewelry that I've made, like this piece here. This is black tourmaline.
Wow. It's very outer worldly, you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's really about just magic, about just like fantasy and being a childlike in a way. And
Yeah.
that's where I get a lot of my inspiration is like, what were you like as a child? You know, what felt magical? And I just allow that my inner child to speak. I try not to. I get out of the way, and I say, "Go ahead. What do you want to do? What do you want to create? It can be crazy." And then this is how I create. This is a wand that I created as well. So it's
Oh,
like,
well, is that a amethyst?
yeah,
Wow.
this.
That is a big ass wand. I'm
All
just
right.
saying.
It's like,
It's like magic then. Uh, and the art as well, Dominic, the art is really, really like I can just stare at that for days and go on a little journey into the artwork. I feel like there's the pyramids and the portal drawing me in.
and this was actually channeled. I still don't quite understand what it means yet, but it when it came through, I felt uncomfortable because I
Wow.
knew it meant something, but I wasn't conscious of what was being expressed. And
Hmm.
usually there's that feeling when I create something where I'm like, whoa, what does that? I just got a message.
Yeah.
So I know the first triangle is the Trinity,
Okay.
but the other two I'm still understanding and digesting and learning. But I feel at some point it's going to be fully revealed. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing these.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you so much for having me and for creating this space to express and just to share. It was really fun. And I'm just really excited, to embark on this journey, this next phase of my life. I don't know what that's exactly going to look like, but I'm just trying to allow and trust the process. Yes. Thank you so much for having me, for creating the space
you.
and the time and the energy to talk with me. I really appreciate your energy and your time. And I love you so much. I have so much respect and adoration for you, for what you do and who you are.
I love you, and I it feels very just our conversation today. It's very natural, like not scripted. We haven't practiced this. This is just Dominique and I talking about what she does and her taking us through what she's birthing into the world. So I really hope you do reach out to Dominique, even if it's for questions, to find out more about her healing services, to
Yeah.
find out more about her creative endeavors. And just remember that if you need something made for you, Dominique is able to do that, and she will channel the energy of you into all of the designs that she makes for you, just like she does with her alternative and integrative holistic well-being therapies. So on that note, thank you so much, sister. It's been an honor. I really appreciate you. I have a lot of love and admiration for you, and I'm sure you'll be back. So you'll be
Yeah.
back on here. We'll be doing something else, down the line, no doubt. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the audience, thank you for listening. We will be back shortly. Until then, take care and we'll see you on the flip side.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.